Alrighty. Hello, hello. What y'all's doing? Doing well, I hope. Alright. We just got everybody in. There we go. So, pretty much, I'm gonna do a quick little roll call. Get them rounded up and ready to roll. And then we're gonna pretty much just hop to it. So, like I said, welcome in. And hopefully you enjoy the show as much as we enjoy playing. So, who can remember what happened last time?
Let's see.
What did
Well,
happen last time?
let's see. There was a tunnel that led eventually to kind of a paved area, and is it like a wall maybe or something? But there was like a hole in the ceiling. So you yeeted Price
Oh,
up
yeah.
to see what was up with the hole, and some
He
kind of
didn't come back
creepy
down.
thing snagged him. Yeah. Um, but we were able to attack it. And what was it? Price, were you the one who was able to actually do it? Anyway, whatever was holding him up there dropped him down, and then I don't remember what we did after that.
I know
Oh,
we kept going, we ended up splitting
good.
up 2 and
'Cause there were 3
2.
tunnels, right? Yeah, there were 3 tunnels, 2 of them had footprints and one of them didn't. And then see
Remember
the
Vimac fell in the hole?
oh,
I
yeah,
did
so
fall in a hole.
yeah, Vimac and Price went down the left tunnel. Yeah, Vimac fell in the hole. We were all chatting telepathically, and Kaito and I were going down the right-hand path that didn't have any footprints. We didn't notice anything except for some whispers that I had in my head that got worse the further down the tunnel we went, and they receded back like as we came back toward the entrance and went over to go help Vimac. And then getting closer to as we went down the tunnel, the whispers got worse again, where I was just like basically covering my ears, even though it wasn't ear sounds, trying to get them to be quiet. And yeah, something happened toward the end. I don't remember what. Another creature, maybe?
We got to there was like a cave in, but it wasn't because it was all
Mm,
stone. It was like
right.
rubble, and so we started to clear that out while you guys were making your way over to us. And I think you all eventually got there, so we cleared out enough room to where the largest one of us, our centaur could fit through without, really having an issue. And I believe just on the other side were a whole bunch of bones. And as soon as one of us came through, they all animated and looked at us.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they were like humanoid skeletons, right? And they weren't mole men. Um,
And they were like the
oh,
people down in the pit.
right. And didn't they have like there were like tools and weapons and stuff that had been all like rusty and as if they'd been there a long while?
Yeah.
Hmm. Right. Anybody have Speak with the Dead?
I just conveniently keep in my pocket the ability to talk to dead people. No!
I don't know. I was going through all my abilities again today to remind me what I had because I was like, did I forget? I have so much stuff I haven't been using.
All right. Is that it?
Was there anything else that happened at the very end?
Mm, Thought there was a cliffhanger, but I don't recall what it was.
I mean, was it just that these skeletons all what did they like sit up or stand up and look at us?
Nope, they just looked in your direction.
Okay. Hmm. And I think that's probably everything. Praying to the
Alright.
dice gods that my Arcana rolls go better and Wisdom rolls go better this time.
Okie dokie. Alright. So we're pretty much picking up where we left off, which was you had entered this hallway, hallway, more like cave walkways, and then all the humanoid skeletal remains simultaneously seem to animate, and all of their heads just slowly turn to look at you guys. They don't really stand up or anything like that. It's just they, in some way, shape, or form or capacity, it appears as if they are aware of you. Where's my Underdark scene?
Well, as I walk in, probably look around and look at the skeletons looking at us, and so, hello? Are
And
you the
remember-
ones that? Hmm?
And
Oh, go
remember,
ahead.
you still have the voices in your head currently.
Right. Well, okay. Am I able to talk or am I incapacitated?
You're not incapacitated, but just a reminder.
Distracted. Mm-hmm. Well, I was going to ask them.
Yeah, they weren't quiet. Or are they still screaming at
Probably pretty loud,
Otani?
right?
Or
Because they didn't. I don't know if they got like so much that I'm like, well, if I'm not incapacitated, then they're at least quiet enough that I can hear myself think. So I was going to ask the skeletons, are you the ones that I can hear in my head? Is that you? You're very loud, if so. And I'm
They-
right here.
They don't respond.
Do the voices in my head change at all?
Nope. The
Or are they
voices
just the same?
continue.
Hmm. That'd be too easy. So where are the skeletons scattered throughout the space? Are they like evenly spaced? Are they kind of clustered? Is there walking room between them?
The answer to all of these questions is yes.
Okay. So both scattered and clustered, but there is still walking space between them, is what I took from that.
Yep.
Cool. About how much space is there like a walk, like a pathway through them, or is it kind of like walking through, a child's scattered toys in their room?
Definitely scattered toys. They are. I mean, some of them look like they died in a battle, so they're not neatly, pushed aside.
I'm thinking more of, is there a pathway through them that
Yes,
is like
Yes,
any part of
yes.
the way through the cave that is outside like arm's reach of them? Or are they
Well,
all within arm's reach of each
No
other?
matter where you go, you're going to be in arm's reach of one of them.
Okay.
It's a horde, trying to make your way through a hoarder's paradise.
Fair. Good description. Okay. Well, I want to kind of cautiously walk up to like kind of the edge of where they start to get scattered or start to be scattered. And kind of like crouch down outside of arm range or outside of their reach range. And do any of them look away from the group and at me, or are they all looking at anybody in particular?
Give me an insight.
I will be waving at them.
Would it be insight or perception?
Insight.
Okay. Because I'm curious, like physically, like who they'd be looking at.
It'll definitely be insight. With a 9, they're just looking indiscriminately.
Okay. Uh. They didn't respond when we talked to them. I'm gonna reach in my pouch and like you guys see me wrestling around in there and then I whisper something and you guys see a light show up. I don't know how to actually cast this. Hang on. Because apparently I have a cantrip. Oh, here it is. But I'm gonna pull out a little clump of moss and whisper to it, and you guys are gonna see it start to glow. So it's gonna shed bright light within a 20-foot radius, and then dim light for an additional 20 feet. And I'll I don't know, the color is going to be something kind of like a little more clear than just like firelight, but not too stark. So kind of a pleasant light. How do they react to that?
They don't appear to act in any way.
Okay. I'll tuck the moss kind of like behind my ear so I have like a little headlamp.
Directional light.
I'll turn to the group. Well, they don't seem to be responding to magic and don't seem to care that I'm here. Do we want to try making our way past them? And is it just like an enclosed cavern, or is there a pathway beyond this cavern?
Oh, this is
From where we-
enclosed. This is hallway.
Well,
This is sort of like a wide cave walkway.
So it's a walkway, and the path continues on past the skeletons.
Yes. So pretty
Okay.
much a hoarder's paradise in a hallway.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think I had it. Yeah, because
Yeah.
they're still in the hallways.
So I'll ask the party if they want to try and walk through.
Would it be a hallway? What's the term for that? It's not a hallway.
I'm still waving at them. Like
Did they
a
respond to him at all?
small, subtle wave.
Tunnel.
You know, just a
tunnel.
little handy wave, not like a full arm wave.
And can I roll Arcana again to is it about the time where I could kind of check to see if I have any new sense of what's going on with these whispers?
So you're trying to divulge any new information from the situation?
And from like the whispers in my head. I don't know if it would apply to both or only one.
So okay. So
That's what you had me rolling last time.
Yeah. I'm just other things in play currently. Yeah, give me an Arcana.
Womp womp womp.
Hey man, have you ever tried to like think clearly for any period of time when you got people screaming in your head? That actually seems pretty apropos for the situation.
He's
Not
not skilled
helpful,
Arcana.
but apropos.
Yeah, no, you're not able to make news of anything. Like, if anything, I'd probably say the voices have become more cacophonous.
That tracks.
So is anybody else doing anything?
Are there any like noticeable symbols or markings on these skeletons, or like on any armor or anything?
I would say no. Like, you don't even really need a check to figure that out. Everything here is in such disrepair, disarray, decrepit state that there's gonna be no identifiable marks. Just looking at the state of things here.
Is there any way to tell if this is where Frederick went?
Let's see. How would you like to try and ascertain that?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
Because
I
that's what
guess.
we're looking for, so that's what Kaido would try to be figuring out, but I don't know how he would.
Okay. So you can, let's see. You can give me a, let's see. Because there's some skills that we use so much. So I want to see if I can spice things up and not have it just be, all right, everything's a perception check, or everything's a, like everything's a athletics check, or, So let's see how we can spice this up a little bit. So you're trying to find them. Let's do. I guess in this situation, you are looking for it. So yeah, I guess it would be perception.
Okay.
Nothing else really makes sense. Womp womp. I guess unless technically you want to be really creative, and then I might be able to allow something else.
Like the only other thing I could think of is possibly survival for like trying to find tracks or like trail of them, but I don't know how conclusive that would be within a stone place.
Then again, we do make an effort to build up certain stats for certain reasons, so I don't think it's boring to keep using them when it applies.
Yeah, but I also think to some degree, when everything's just, well, it's a perception. And when you can kind of like when you can make some fun things happen with some of the other checks too, like if you were just like, I want to use a history to recall, the direction that we thought he went into, or, not that's applicable to this situation per se, but put some other skills to use.
That's good to give us some thoughts of how to use the skills that we do use creatively, or how to use the skills we use more creatively.
But with a 21, let's see. Yeah, I'd probably say you'd see some level of disturb. I want to say disturbed ground, but disturbed dust, where like these things seem like they've been sitting here for a very long time. So you would probably see some level of maybe somebody's been through here recently.
Okay, so would you, with the 21, how far can I tell the disturbance went? Like, did it go through, or do I need to do a different check to see how far it goes?
I mean, it goes to the edge of your light source and vision.
Okay. Kaido's gonna glance at the others, not say anything, and just start slowly walking in that direction.
You cut out for a second. What direction are you walking in?
In the direction where I see the unsettled whatnots and whatnot, to try to follow this trail and find Fred. That's our task. His name's Frederick, right? Or was it Thompson? Why am I thinking of Thompson? I don't think that's
I don't know. There's never been a Thompson.
That's not
Yeah, wasn't it Frederick? Oh, Frederick with the silent P.
Yeah, that's why. Who the hell is Thompson? Like, where do I know
Fred,
that name from?
where the S is silent.
Tommen? Tommen?
No idea. But he's attempting to follow the path of which he saw the disturbance. And he's going slowly because he's not too sure about these skeletons, but he's like, if someone else
not
has
Fred, it
gone
was
through
Franklin.
here, maybe we can just do the same thing.
It was Franklin.
Franklin, yeah. Yeah, with a P is silent.
I didn't think either of those names were right.
Franklin, the S is silent. Yep.
When I think of the name Franklin, though, I can only, in my head, I can only hear it in the voice that the cube says it in.
Not lisp.
Franklin.
Franklin.
But that's what Kaido's doing. He's attempting to just follow the trail.
All right. So Kaido's in front now.
Sounds like.
All right. So you're in front and you're walking forward through piles and piles of, well, yeah, they are kind of clumped in some places, but they're also skeletons, so they don't necessarily take up, you know, a whole lot of space like a meaty person, you know, people made of flesh and bone would be made of, but they are sort of in piles in the sense that, you know, some bodies are laid over other bodies, and, you know, some are next to each other. Like they based on just their physiology, quote unquote, piles. But you continue on through.
And they don't respond to him walking through there at all?
Nope.
Well,
They're just watching as you guys make your way through.
since I feel no concern at all for my Arcana check, I'm going to cautiously follow Kaito.
Ooh, let me hydrate. All right. I need water. My mouth is dry. Remember to hydrate.
You need to go get it?
Gotta hydrate.
No, I'm good. I have it next to me.
Okay.
Let me get a little extra hydration. Okay. All right. So, you're continuing through this cavern. I kept saying hallway. I was trying to think of the name. It's more of a cavern.
Like
Is
a
it
long cavern?
Pathway, cavern, whatever you call them.
Cave path? I don't know.
And it goes on for a good bit.
Secret tunnel.
Yeah. Mountain tunnel.
There's just bodies and bodies. And it just seemed like whoever was fighting here, it had to have been some kind of just like a slog. Which actually we can make use of another skill that we rarely use. Let's have Kaito, since you're in front,
Okay.
do a... Oh yeah, that's right. They don't have that as a skill anymore. A history check.
Oh no.
Yeah, mine is not strong.
Got an 8.
Okay.
Should each of us try, or just whoever's leading?
Just Kaido.
We're doomed.
That's like me and my Arcana check. Well, no, not as bad as my Arcana check, though, to be fair.
Yeah, because there's no knowledge check. All right, so yeah, you continue forward until you come to what seems like some kind of a... Some kind of a... Another cave-in. But this cave-in also has skeletons like buried under it.
Oh.
As you can see, what looks like some people ended up getting crushed and you can see like their upper torso and like a hand stick like outstretched, like they were trying to crawl out, but they never made it. Like some
Do we see
people.
actual skeletons?
What's up?
The actual skeletons, or we see like fleshy hands?
So the cave-in fell on people.
Yes.
This is their remains.
Yes. Are the remains skeletal, or
Yes.
are there so fleshy? Okay, so it's been a
Yeah.
while. And so who we're looking for, could we see if it's been disturbed?
I mean, it's a cave-in.
Well, yes, it's a very old cave-in. If there's
Mm-hmm.
skeletons underneath it, so is there anywhere that's been recently disturbed to give us idea that Frederick came this way?
He gave him
'Cause it's
another
an
name
old
again.
cave-in.
So it
What
does
was the
it,
name? Did I say it wrong again?
Franklin. He
Franklin.
said Frederick.
Franklin. Oh yeah, we keep Franklin.
I'm old. Okay, I'm sorry. Names are hard. At least I got the F down.
Max is rubbing off on you.
Oh my! I'm not trying to. Franklin. I don't even know Frederick, do I?
No, there hasn't been a Frederick either.
At least
Listen,
your
Linda, I'm
sense that,
trying.
that maybe you weren't getting it right earlier on was the right sense.
Mm.
But that's okay.
But yeah, if it's an old cave-in where there's skeletons underneath it, can we see if anything's been disturbed to see if Franklin came this way? If not, we're going the wrong direction.
So you would see a few holes in the wall.
What size holes?
I'm gonna guess mole-man sized.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, are they like
Mole-man size.
burrowed size? All right, perfect.
Yeah.
Excellent.
How big is the mole-man?
They're medium. I mean, they're like most standard creatures. They could be medium or small.
No, my next question is it like the size of a hole Kaido could logically go through?
If it is a medium size, then yes. Technically, even if it's small, Kaido could still fit through it. It just gotta squeeze.
Kaido's gonna glance back to the others like, and kind of point at the hole. We could go through here, maybe. I suggest someone small going first. He's gonna directly look at Price because he's the smallest of the group.
So, yeah, we could go that way. What are the odds that? Why would Franklin come over here?
I have no idea, but he wasn't back where we came, was he?
No.
We haven't run into him so far. And I mean,
And when people are
honestly,
scared, they'll run into weird directions, and he's looking for people who were scared. So
well, here's the thing though.
who
But
knows?
where was there any mole man sized holes in the previous rock kind of collapse?
I have no idea, but there's been disturbances in the last room we were in, so I would assume they got through somehow.
Okay, OOC cubed. Just because I can't remember. Did we see signs of like where it was possible that a mole person had gone through? I don't remember us talking about that
Because we didn't.
last time. Okay, but we would have seen it when we had walked up. If there was a hole in the rubble, right? We would have seen that because that would have affected how
the
we
previous
would've
rubble.
picked stuff up.
So if
Yeah.
you remember, the previous rubble, it was enough room for, smaller, smaller creatures to squeeze through. But you guys kind of cleared the whole thing.
Okay. So again, because I can't as a person see this to compare, would it have been too small for mole people to have fit through the other holes that we saw?
No mole person could
The-
squeeze in there.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure that my assumptions are correct on what we would have seen. Sounds good. Well, I mean,
It's warm
the other
above it,
tunnel we
too.
went through didn't seem to have any sign of it, so I think we're on the right track. Probably just keep on going. I mean, Franklin obviously seemed to know something that maybe we don't?
Hmm. Just know we haven't found him yet.
Right. Well, let's keep going. We'll have to run into him sooner or later, right?
Don't worry, Price. I'll be right behind you.
Send him Price first.
Yeah,
Only
Price will
because
just
he's
keep going.
shorter, and so it'll be easier for him and not much of a struggle.
Why don't I go next? I can take a look around.
You still have voices screaming in your head. Are you gonna be able to look around?
Well, I mean,
You figured out how to shut them up yet?
they're not affecting my vision.
I don't know. When someone's screaming at me, my vision gets affected, but that's because I start seeing red.
That's understandable. Thankfully, I'm not experiencing that.
Yet.
Hopefully, at all.
So
I'll
Price
stand by my
first.
yet. Yes.
Well, don't jinx it, Kaito.
All right. So Price, I guess, Price, are you willing to go into the hole? I guess before everybody,
Price,
before
go to
we're just
the
like Price, do
hole.
it. And it's like, oh, Price is doing it.
Yeah, he is.
I thought I heard him say he was. That's why I kind of just continued on.
All right. So Price, you go through the hole, and you come out. It's not very long. Essentially, it seems like it just goes around this cave in to the other side. Where on the other side, there are no skelly mans, but there's another hole. So you see like this big stone door with what seems like some sort of let's have you do a little history. All right, so no context. So you see this big stone door with weird, like, people fighting something, like smaller people fighting larger people, and it just, you don't really know what it means or represents other than conflict. But despite this giant stone door that seems undisturbed, there's another hole in the wall on the other side that is next to the door. Like, basically, somebody going, well, I can't go through this, so I'll just dig a hole around it.
That seems like a Franklin move.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess Price would like getting out of the other side, seeing this door, not having really context of what it was. But seeing another hole next to it, knowing that we just came through this one, he's instead of messing with the door at all, he's probably just going to go straight over to this other hole and going to start to climb through that.
All right. So we start heading to this other one. And basically, as you do so, it leads you to the other side of whatever this thing is. It's a few extra feet of movement because, you don't know how wide this door is or whatever. But you do see an exit point, and I guess I should say, before you exit, you have the choice to exit. Is just, you can see that there is an exit point if you so choose.
I mean, he'd probably get to the edge and like poke his head out and look around just to see if there's any signs of anything really.
And it's a good thing it's Price doing this, I guess, because you have dark vision.
Don't we all have dark vision? Didn't we figure that
Right
out?
now we do.
And also, reason 2, so Price, you feel just a tug on your like robes, and you look down, and as this is all happening in like less than the blink of an eye. You just feel like this sudden tug. You look down, and there's this upper torso, not really with a body, just like the torso and like arms and skull of a humanoid creature. You can pretty much tell it's humanoid. It's not like an animal. And it grabs onto your like collar and looks at you, and then just opens its mouth, and there's this like very hazy, like purplish glow in its mouth and its eyes as it opens its jaws. Looks like it's screaming at you, but then it just falls to the ground. Give me a wisdom save, as you have also been jump scared on top of whatever just happened. 12. Okay, noted. But this just happened so quick. It's just like the most predictable kind of jump scare you could have in a video game or a movie. Just thing happened and then it stops.
So Price is probably gonna like, jump back, like crawl back a little bit. Probably, just like catch his breath, and then he'll like slowly poke his head back out just to see if there's anything else that might jump out at him.
All right. So you do it again, poke your head out.
Yep.
And it happens again. Give me another wisdom saving throw.
Fuck.
As the skeleton is still there. Okie dokie.
So yeah, Price is just gonna back up at this point, and I don't know. He's probably gonna crawl back out to the other side, back behind where this door is, and look at everyone and just be like, "I don't know if we should go through there."
What'd you see? You kind of came back and then went back through. What was that about?
There's a skeleton that keeps popping out.
Oh, really? So, was it trying to attack you? Uh-oh, he's still there?
Maybe his internet went kaputs. Again. I think this happened a couple weeks ago at roughly this time too for him. Unless it's me. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Maybe his internet just needs a momento.
Sorry, I had to step away for a sec. So yeah, I missed the last bit.
Oh, I just asked if it had tried to attack you, but then you seemed fine and went back out and then came back in, or like stuck it back in.
Oh
Like,
well,
was it attacking you?
it was just like sitting there waiting for something to come through, and then it grabbed me, and then it there was a weird like purple light, and then it just like fell over.
But then, did the light come back the second time you stuck your head through?
Yeah, it grabbed me again.
So that's weird.
Also, what's all this on the door?
Let's see. I don't know. Cubed, what is all this on the door?
So all the stuff on the door So pretty much like I described before, it's it seems to be a bunch of people, smaller scale people fighting larger people.
Oh, that's what he was referring to.
Yeah.
Like kind of okay. Well, I mean,
It's a
I wonder if it's a warning.
big stone door, probably pretty heavy, probably pretty hefty. And there's two, but I guess, well, if you're in here, so you'd see two holes in the wall, one next to the door, and I guess and the one you just came out of. But beyond that, there's really nothing else in here. There's no skeletons, none of that. Just looks pretty old.
Well, let's see. I want to try history check to see if I remember anything about it from my studies.
Oh, so close. So something is kind of coming to mind, but it's it is too difficult for you to figure it out with the with the voices in your head. You might be thinking, like, what could this mean? And just due to the fact that there is that cacophony of voices and just random almost words, not even like real language being spoken, but just just on the precipice of words in your head that you're pretty sure they could be words, but it's kind of like drowned out or mumbled, that you're not really able to ascertain what this represents.
Like on the tip of my tongue.
Like maybe you were on the edge of figuring it out, but then like one of the voices in your head said something, and then your mind switched to, that just happened to be the sound or almost word that you heard, and it, for that moment of distraction was just enough to be like, I think maybe, and then like, huh, what? Oh yeah, okay. Well, anyway, shoot, what was it? Damn it.
Well, I feel like I've seen something along these lines before, but gosh, I can't quite remember. I wish these damn voices would just quiet down.
Maybe you can get the voices to talk amongst themselves.
They seem to be otherwise ignoring me other than yelling at me. How would you propose I do that? I mean, I was thinking of maybe starting to think about a really catchy and annoying song. In
Yeah.
fact, I am going to do that.
Or propose a book club session, and then you just bow yourself out of that once you get it started.
I'm not sure how I would bow myself out of like psychic screams or not, but I'm sure I could try. I'm going to
Well, if
start
they're
with
discussing some magic tome or something in book club, then they won't be screaming, right?
that's true if I get them to agree with it. I'm going to start with maybe trying to sing a really annoying song in my head. And it's going to go, Peanut sat on a railroad track. Its heart was all aflutter. Around the bend came number 10. Toot, toot, peanut butter. And I'm just going to sing that over and over in my head in an attempt to get them to quiet, like to push them out or annoy them out of my head.
So here's a fun little thing that I've wanted to playtest. So, if you would be so willing to indulge.
With the curse?
So, in this situation, I would like to try something, which is you can either roll a dice, which I'm not, I haven't established what dice pool that is yet, for good reason. So you can either roll a dice and potentially succeed in what it is you're trying to do, or you can guarantee your success, not have to roll a dice, but there's a setback that may or may not, it's not something I'm going to put on the table, say, here's the setback, but, basically a failing forward or guaranteed success, but at a cost, or a roll, which would, which you could pretty decently potentially solve your issue without a setback. So it's kind of like that risk reward kind of thing.
Can you give me an a categorical idea of what you mean by setback? Like,
So
are we
like,
talking like oh, go ahead.
So essentially saying, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to quiet the voices in your head, right?
Uh-huh.
So a setback being like you achieve the intended goal, but there is something else that happens as a result.
A consequence to it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll try and roll for it. This is D&D after all, right? Let's do it.
D&D is also a
I
choice.
like the options. I do like the options, though. And depending on how my rolls go tonight, if that's an option later on too, I might take it.
So like I said, it's a playtest mechanic.
Yeah.
Something that I think could be interesting, but sometimes on paper it seems like it could be fun and interesting, but as the saying goes, all great plans fail in the eyes of the enemy.
Let me ask you this, but I guess before we move forward to the roll, with the consequence, is it like a permanent life-changing consequence to my character, or is it essentially temporary or fixable?
I mean, that can vary, right? Like that's what I want to emphasize. Like there could be a long-term consequence in certain situations, but you don't know. So that's where I'm saying, like, there's a little bit of that like risk reward. Like, do you want to roll and potentially pass, potentially fail, or say I guarantee pass and leave it to DM discretion as to the consequence? Because I can't necessarily just be like, the consequence is something that's like
no, I know,
it's a
and
broad sweeping
know
statement.
The consequence ahead. I wouldn't know why, because I like the thematic story of like, I mean, you're not going to be able to know all the consequences ahead of time in things, right? Like we know that. I love that. I guess for me, it's probably never going to be I'm never going to be curious enough to risk it if it is potentially a permanent consequence, a negative consequence. If it were something like a potential, and just to give you an idea of like kind of how I think as a player of like if it's something of like the risk of maybe for 3 hours or until the next short rest, I can't see out of one eye or something, whatever it is, like my something else has changed or everything is suddenly purple, or if it's something like that, it has like a pretty reasonable end time to the negative impact, then I'm probably often going to be curious enough to try for the success even with the consequence. But if I don't know going into it that it's for sure not going to be a permanent consequence, I'm probably never going to be curious enough to go for it, because there are enough challenge limitations in this anyway for me. So I will probably, I just letting you know, if there's a chance of you ever wanting to expand and try it out with like temporary consequences, rather than permanent, I would be more likely to give it a try. But I don't want to risk, permanently disabling my character in some way for something that I could potentially get on a roll, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to that point also, so I'd say if something were to be as extreme as a permanent condition, it's also D&D. So permanent, even saying permanent can be temporary. I mean, in D&D, we have the ability to revive people from the dead. So, like,
yeah, but that's
that could be a fun side quest if something is like, say, for example, like say you want to do something really risky, and you succeeded, but say like you said, like you're blind in one eye now. Well, I think that could also open up avenues to make that not permanent, right? Because then you can go, okay, well, when we get back to town, maybe we can get like an arcane eye if and you've played Baldur's Gate, so I'm sure you
Right.
know that situation. But
I
like
think I have
it
one
could
too.
open up more story and more interaction for you guys as well. So don't think of permanent like, well, I guess my character doesn't have legs anymore. It's like, well, I mean, even that situation, now you can go and get some cooler psionic legs. You can be like
Yeah, but
Phantom Limb.
getting from here to there would be an incredibly frustrating experience. So that's where it's like it's something where for me I have to have some idea of, is this a high risk or low risk sort of a chance? You know what I mean? Like kind of putting that as in it could be anywhere on the range of that, for me doesn't give me enough information to choose whether or not it'd be worth the risk to even try for it. So I maybe after some workshopping or seeing what some potential kind of side effects from that are elsewhere in the game, maybe. But for me right now, I think I am going to go ahead and go with the roll.
All right. But
But I like
I was
where
just
you're
pointing that
going.
out there, putting that out there because some
Yeah,
people might enjoy that high risk,
absolutely.
guaranteed,
Yeah.
but with a setback.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that there's the option there. That's a very cool idea. So what am I rolling?
So you are rolling a wisdom saving throw.
All right. Pray for me, folks.
Nobody prayed.
Nope.
So essentially, I mean, it wasn't a terrible roll, but yeah, the voices are still in your head. Like you're trying to drown them out with a song, with a
And it's just making
repetitive.
it a little worse. No.
I wouldn't say you're making it worse because I mean, a 12 still isn't horrible. It's definitely not a pass, but it's not horrible. If it was horrible, then I'd probably say, yeah, there's probably something else that comes into play, but it's
Okay.
they're just still in your head, still distracting you. You try and sing, but it's trying to hum a melody in front of somebody yelling, somebody's because it's a lot of voices yelling.
Like I feel like I'm in the middle of like Grand Central Station. Everybody's talking on their phone at full volume.
Basically, and you're just trying to like listen to your music with your earbuds, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just hard to drown that out.
Yeah. All right. Well, next I'll have to try the book club idea, but for now I'll just bear it.
All right. So what's Vimac and Kaido doing? As Kali is trying to get the voices out of her head, and
I
Price is
forgot even where we are.
jump scared.
We're
don't know where
standing
we
in
are
front of a
anymore either.
doorway. We're standing in front of the doorway with the hole in it, with the jump scare skeleton on the other side. And this door has that like the motif of the battle between smaller people and larger people.
So we know it's a door.
Yeah, it's a big stone door, but
Anyone tried opening it?
we already know it's on the other side of it because there's a hole next to the door.
I thought there was a big cave, whatever dirt pile cave-in thing, and we went around a hole to get around that.
But we
You
did. We
did.
passed the cave in.
And is it
and
the
then we
door
came to
like
the
the
stone door.
opposite side of the cave-in? So we don't know what's on the other side of that, do we?
There is a hole next to the door, and that's what
Oh,
Price stuck his head through. And then he got jump scared with a
right.
skeleton with the
Okay.
purple light twice and survived. Good job on that, Price. Oh, like those were some pretty great rolls. And then, but looking at the door,
Do we know if the other hole is another mole man-sized hole?
Yeah, it appears to be probably mole man sized. Yeah.
So we need to go through either the hole or through the door.
Right. But when Price went to kind of do some, visual recon, what's on the other side of the door is a skeleton trap thing or something. So that's just so we know what is immediately on the other side of the door. It's just a matter of how to deal with it.
Have we tried opening the door? Because maybe that turns it off. I don't know.
I mean, we haven't. Go for it.
How do we open the door? Do we know that?
Yeah, like is there like a handle or something to be able to open it from this side?
Nope, it is one of those big double doors that in any like Disney movie where it's like they when they kick open the doors, it's like them big old huge a door that looks like it's too heavy for a single mole person to be able to open.
So that's why they made a hole.
Probably.
And when Price got skeleton scared, he didn't happen to see Franklin anywhere, did he? Please say I said the right name. Please say I said the right name. Did I say the right name this time?
I think
Was
so.
it
Yes.
Franklin?
It's Franklin.
Okay. I'm trying. Was Price able to ascertain that he went that way, or do we just assume because there's another mole manhole?
He just got jump scared and headed back.
Okay. Can I attempt to just push at the door and see if it opens?
It is very heavy. And you touch the door to start pushing it.
If I'm allowed to, yes.
Yes, you are. Give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Uh-oh. I'm not good at these.
Because if there's a trap on the other side of the door, why would there be a trap on the door?
16. You could swear you start hearing some whispers off in the distance, but you shake your head.
Barbar rage is too strong.
Yep, they pass.
Am I allowed to start pushing now, or is this a type of thing where it forces me to let go of the wall door thing?
That's up to you. Do you want to continue touching it and pushing through?
He would try because we have to get to the other side.
Wunderbar. So you start
And-
to push the door and realize that you might need some help with this one.
Okay,
It's
letting go. He's
that
gonna look
heavy.
over his shoulder and be like, Vimac, can you help me push this thing?
Yeah.
Just ignore the whispers when you touch it. It's fine.
I'll hear that and be like, "Wait, you hear whispers too? What are
No.
yours?"
They didn't last. I just shook my head and they were gone.
Oh man. Well, you're lucky.
I know I am.
Athletics, right?
These guys are jerks.
He hasn't told us to roll anything.
Oh,
We had to touch
okay.
the door first. You
I will
haven't
touch
touched
the door.
wisdom saving.
Oh, if you touch the
I'm
door,
trying to ignore the voices, whispers, whatever they are.
there are
I
no
did give
whispers
him
for
a heads
you.
up.
As
Oh.
you touch the door, they just glide open, almost as if you
Oh.
barely even touch them.
Kind of gonna look at you like, what?
I wonder if this has to do with giants. I mean, you
Giants?
saw the small people and the big people. The big
Oh,
people
yeah,
could
that's
have
a
been
good point.
giants.
He's
Don't
putting
know,
it
though.
together.
Giants first?
Good work, guys.
Okay, I will go first.
Hi, Rainy. I'm busy. What's the matter?
Okay, so he's going first.
Am I not allowed to play D&D?
All
Your pepper
right.
just wants to play.
So, Vimac, since you step in first. Yeah, so give me a wisdom saving throw
Okay.
as you step through. And immediately, like, you can see like the hole off to the side. There's a skeleton just just the like the rib cage and up of a skeleton just laying idle at the hole. And a 13. Yeah. So with a 13, as you step through, you feel, well, I guess for one, there's a feeling of despair, but then there's also immediately after there's a feeling of like pride, a feeling of accomplishment, a feeling of, I guess in a sense, familiarity. Almost like when you open the doors, it's like you were greeted by like a Walmart greeter. But, there's no, I mean, there is a wall, but there's no Walmart and there's no greeter physically. But yeah,
So I will continue on in. Feeling good.
all right. Everybody following?
Sure.
Wunderbar. So as you walk in, and your range is 120 feet? Due to... Yeah, I think Vimac has the furthest vision through the familiar, right? 120?
Yeah.
So I would say, trying to remember the thing's name. Where is it? Clem. So Clem would inform you, like on the edge of their vision appears to be some kind of like structure, but they can't see the full range. Like this is like on the very, 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 very edge of their vision. So it's not like they can see a full wall, but they could definitely see the makings of a building.
Okay. And that's edge of vision. So, hey guys, there's a building, looks like 100 meters or so away.
He's using Cloud Giant metrics.
Nice. Well, any other glowing skeletons that way?
Within that line of sight, no.
All right. Well, yeah, let's make our way over.
So, it's only 100, technically like 119 feet, but whatevs. We can round up. 120 feet. So you would come to what appears to be this just massive structure. Like, it is huge. It is, how you say, giant. But it
So it's
seems
really,
like
really
it's
small then?
I guess depending on how large you are.
Yeah.
But it seems like you're on the backside of it, so there's not any windows or anything like that. But there's definitely like a structure here, a building. You can kind of see the the parameters of it on either side. It easily from one wall to another, because everybody has like 60-foot dark vision pretty much. This is about 55 feet wide, and this is just one wall. This is just the wall you've walked up to, but it's tall. It is Oh, you have 60-foot dark vision. So this thing easily goes outside of dark vision, and since you have 120 on Clem, the building's about 80 feet tall. Because Clem would be able to at least see the top edge, like where it, But it is very nondescript. It is made of stone. As you could probably tell, in a cave, a building made of stone kind of makes sense, right? But yeah. Let me check people's past perceptions.
Well, we should go check it out. Do we see any obvious footprints of mole men size on the ground?
Well, I was just checking everybody's passive perceptions. That'd be enough. So you would be able to hear the sounds of footsteps coming towards you. Pretty much everybody with your passives. Yeah, I think the lowest perception is a 14 passive. No, a 9. Okay, well, maybe Vimac might not. But everybody else can hear, like, whap, 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 whap. Something approaching you.
I will turn in the direction of the footfalls.
There's a very familiar looking mole man covered in dirt, dust, some other material. He has his little like his like goggles on, like, the little digging goggles. And he waddles up to you guys and goes,
"Oh, hey guys, and I'm surprised you made it here, but I'm trying to find people, and I might have gone the wrong ways, but
and he just seems like so. Yeah, I'd say you won't even really need to make an insight check, but just based on his body, he's not hiding anything, but he looks tired, he looks distraught, but there's also a sense of urgency in his voice and a little bit of panic. But underlying with all of that, there's a little bit of relief. And it is very apparent in his mannerisms.
I'll say, are you Franklin?
yes, I am."
And he walks up to Bryce, and he's just like shaking your hand, like more of a awkward shake, like panicked shake, but just like, because I think Price is the only person that he would recognize.
He'd recognize Kaido.
Was Kaido there? Yeah, Kaido was there, so he'd
Yeah,
recognize
Kaido's
Price and Kaido. Sorry, I'm trying to remember who the party switcheroos.
Okay, I'm not offended. I'm just upset.
That's okay. You could also be dead.
Yeah. But I'm already that inside. Isn't that enough?
But then again, Kaido didn't also interact with him much. Because Price was the one who actually was talking to Franklin. So it would make sense that he goes to Price first.
And I was trying to find my peoples, and everything went crazy. I mean, at first it started,
and he just like falls on his like butt, and he's just like breathing heavily, just like hyperventilating, just in total like panic freak out mode.
And Kaido pat him on the back, just tell him to breathe.
Does he look injured at all, or is he's just like frantic?
Frantic. He appears to have like no wounds on him.
Okay.
Well, Franklin, I mean, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, just calm down. I was just gonna let you know. We came from the village where all the rest of the mole people are, and every single one of them that we found, we were able to get them all gathered together and basically point them in the direction to get back to the surface. So unless you know where any of your
We
other
told him to go back to Delroof.
yes, right.
Yeah.
Because they'd be safe there, obviously, and so if you know of anyone else, point us in that direction. We'll help you get them. Otherwise, if it's just you, we got to get you out of here, buddy.
And you just like pat him on the back. He just looks. He's in. This is clearly a bad day for this guy, right? Like his town, his little village just went to shit. There's skeletons. He's just one dude, and like you could definitely tell he feels like he's way in over his head right now.
Well, I don't think that was all of the villagers. I wanted to make sure that I went as far as I could to find as many people as possible and get them out of harm's way, and everything. Everything just went crazy. The skeletons started grabbing people's and the bones and that.
And then he just starts to get back into frantic mode again.
And then I saw these holes, so I thought maybe somebody went this way, and then there's this.
And he gestures to this big building. He's like, I don't even and he just he looks like he's gonna faint.
Price has got his cloak of billowing kind of like pulled around, kind of like around his torso, if that makes sense. And he's holding just a bit of it up in front of Franklin as it's billowing, just kind of like fanning him, if you will.
Yeah, at this point he's just trying to collect himself, which he's not doing a very good job at it right now. Also, when you just described like you holding up the cloak, it immediately made me think of this. And if you know, you'll know. Is a table talk? There it is.
Oh, nice.
Darkwing Duck.
Yeah, totally.
Darkwing Duck.
That's great.
Would you say that that's kind of fitting for how Price describes himself? Like the cape is always billowing.
Yeah.
He's holding it up.
Absolutely.
He's like super heroic all the time. Darkwing Duck. Let's get dangerous. All right. So what do y'all's want to do?
Well, did we hear a response from Franklin about if he's the only one left?
Oh, so when you ask that,
I certainly hope I'm not the only one left. I hope there's I know there's some people that I couldn't find, and I told some people to hide in, but then the bones were still coming out of everywhere. So where we could hide was really like super limited. So some people I didn't count everybody's.
Well, I mean, are you the only one here in your current party? Or did you bring others with you?
He shakes his head frantically. I would never put other people at risk like that.
Oh, well, some of the other of your people had said that you had gone with a team, so we thought you'd be here with others.
I left it. So once we
Deep breath,
started
buddy.
seeing crazy stuff, I sent them back. I don't know if they necessarily made it back though. I didn't get to count them, but I hope they made it.
Well, I would say, I mean, I'm not sure who exactly comprised your team, but if you're the only one here, then, I mean, we should probably get going back to, your town and gather anybody who is still there and make sure that we get back to Delruth, get everybody to safety.
He doesn't seem to object to not being here.
Well, unless there's anything else that we needed to check out, let's head back.
Is that what everybody wants to do? Is there anything y'all want to do here? Or just immediately head back?
Well, you see, Kato has that dilemma of he feels like we should figure out what the hell is going on down here, but at the same time, he's like, well, we just needed to help them. Should we figure this out?
I am very interested in the structure that we're close to.
Because, this is going to keep continuously being a problem, because this is not that far from Delruth. Who's to say this wouldn't spread?
Well,
we should probably get to the bottom of it and stop it. Whatever it is.
I mean, as a counterpoint, we also could ask Luana if she's familiar with what's going on here.
Do we even know exactly how we're going to report any of this weird stuff?
I mean, I've been taking notes. We'll just relay to her what happened. I mean, it does seem a little disparate. It seems like what we're finding here with this part of the cavern seems not directly related to the, bone horror things that we were running into before.
But that we know of.
Right. That's why I said it doesn't seem to be connected. So my thought is that something else has come into play and that we might have, this may be the ruins of a past civilization. We don't know.
Actually, Franklin, why did you think there were people down here?
Because I saw the holes in the walls. So I thought somebody would have come this way.
You didn't make them?
He shakes his head.
Oh.
So I wonder if something did get out from here and that maybe that is what's causing it. Well, I mean, I am only part of the team, so just my 2 cents, but I'm willing to go on. Well, I meant I'm willing to go on and investigate some more if you'd all prefer to do that.
No, don't do it. It's dangerous here. It's really weird. My first standing on the edge constantly in this area. It's not safe. It's not safe.
But you came here all alone.
You're a very brave bull man. But with more of us here, we can defend each other. However, and I'll turn to the rest of our existing team, I also don't feel it's right to put Franklin through more trauma if he would rather go back to be with his people in Delruth.
I think that'd be best. We don't want him getting hurt. But we can't we got to figure out what's going on here. Luana might know something, but by the time we get there and back, who knows, something else might get out of here then. We don't know what made those holes now.
but do we also feel that it's safe to send Franklin all the way back to Delruth by himself?
I mean, where we've been has been pretty clear, other than that one giant hole in the roof. Just avoid that, and I think it'll be fine.
I mean,
Oh,
you
no,
kind of
on the
have to
ground.
pass under. True.
He got down here once. He probably passed it, right? He should know about it.
Well,
Some
but also
degree.
remember the bone things in the wall when we came in that we had to rescue the mole people from? If there are
That
more
was
of those, there are more of those in the wall on his way out, I would just worry that. Why don't we at least walk him to the exit to the tunnels, or get him to a new area like that we know is safer, and
I
then we can come
mean,
back here.
if you really want, I can do that pretty lickety split.
I mean, that sounds like a great solution with your speed.
It would be quicker, but it would still be a little bit of an endurance check. Because it's been, like, yeah, you do have the speed for it, but you're also trying to do it as quickly as possible. So, distance running kind of stuff.
Which is what I'm built for. Sorry, baby.
I could just lower the DC.
But the question is, do you guys want to just stand here waiting while I do that? That doesn't sound too exciting.
Well, I mean, we could always stand guard here while you do that, since you'll be pretty quick.
What are the odds of just having them dig up and just get to top ground?
Aren't we in like the stone part of like a cavern? So I don't
Yep.
think
I don't
he
know.
can
There's
easily
holes
cut
in the wall already.
in the wall.
So yeah, this had opened up into a very large. I mean, clearly very large because there's a 80-foot tall building, a 55 by 80-foot tall building, and so it's definitely a big cavernous area.
I don't know, Bryce. What do you think we should do?
Well, probably shouldn't leave Franklin alone. He got all the way here on his own, but he is a little frazzled. Seems like whatever this structure is, well, might have some sort of significance to Vimac, being that there might be a connection with giants and whatnot. So I don't know. What do you want to keep looking?
I like a little poke around.
Well, and I'll turn to Franklin and be like, Franklin, you have an entire adventuring team here to protect you. Maybe you could give us some guidance on things that we wouldn't otherwise notice that you of the underground would be more likely to see right off. Would you be willing to give us advice if we look around here and keep you safe?
Give me a persuasion, but at a disadvantage because he is frantic right now. And when you say that,
I feel like that's accurate because I wasn't really trying to persuade him to stay. It was
Yeah.
more that I was presenting him with an alternative option. So, like, I wasn't trying to be very persuasive. So a 4 actually tracks.
yeah, well, you're trying to have a suggestion, and I'd say that still kind of falls under persuasion. Not to say persuasion like I'm telling you to do something, but like more like, well, maybe we can do this. I'd say like,
No, I feel like it tracks. I feel like it all worked out great.
So he's gonna shake his head. No, it's too dangerous. It's too dangerous, and he tugs on since Price has his cloak in front of him. He tugs on Price's cloak. No, we just gotta get out of here. It's too dangerous. The skeleton things, they're everywhere. They're all over the place in here.
I'll turn to Kaido and be like, well, it does seem like maybe taking him back at least to the entrance of the cavern or somewhere safe and so he can get to Delruth in a safer way would probably be good. So why don't we start looking around, and we won't go far, and we can meet back here, say in an hour. Do you think that's and we'll keep checking in. We'll keep checking into this spot. What do you think, Kaito?
I totally wasn't distracted by doing
I
a
was just-
thing.
I was just saying we could do a little bit of looking around while you take him back to like the entrance to the tunnels, like past, so you can make sure he gets through the area where we first found somebody attacked. Because once he's there, it's like he can wait till night if need be and travel to Delruth in the dark. So he's not having to travel during the daytime. But at least then he'll be starting from like a safe area. And then we'll keep checking back here, in like, periodically, like each hour, we'll try and make our way back to the, entrance of this structure to meet you here when you get back.
And your psionic link is 1 mile, right?
Let me see. I don't remember off the top of my head. $1 mile.
Okay. So without necessarily having
Yeah.
to do a check for it, I'd say that you, just based on how long you guys have walked from point A to point B, it's gonna go outside of your psychic whispers range. Because
Yeah, I
remember,
figured.
you did walk for a good 10-15 minutes in certain sections. Some points
Well,
were
that's
like
why-
5 minutes. So you'd probably know, just based on how long you've walked, that it's probably going to take, to do that would put Kaito outside of your connection.
I did figure that, which is why I figured I would let them know that we'd be checking back to this area. Like we wouldn't try and go like explore the super deep depths of something. We would just kind of look around briefly and try and be more cautious until Kaito gets back.
Yeah, I think.
And that way you can get Franklin to a safer area, and we can start to look around while we wait for you.
Okay.
So splitting the party, right?
Yep. Because nothing can go wrong.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 55. 20, 25, 30, 30, 40. Okay. All right. So Franklin's gonna just be. I mean, he whatever you guys say, he's probably just gonna go with. Why isn't what? I think I broke my grid. Damn. Gotta edit something. There we go. There. All right. So Kaito, you pick up Franklin.
Yep.
And take him on a trip.
I let him sit on the saddle. If he was okay with that, and that I would literally cradle him the whole way. 'Cause that's the mission.
All right. So we will. I guess we'll just do the endurance check to see how long it takes you to get there. With all the physical obstacles along the way that you do know of. So just give me a Constitution check. Not a saving throw,
Okay.
just a check.
Normal, even though this is my background.
Um,
That's the thing at the top, right? Yeah.
yeah.
I netted it anyway. Hey, I get an inspiration for that, don't I?
Yes.
Aha!
Nice.
I'm built to run.
All right. So you're pretty. I'll say with the nat 20, you can probably do it in half the time.
Nice.
Okay. I only can move 160 feet every fucking round if I dash, so yeah.
So let's see. So I would say, without necessarily having to get into the minutia of how many feet are in a mile, how quickly would this be? We're just gonna do some narrative hand waving, I guess. Instead of it being like, all right, now I'm gonna track every 5 feet that you move for X amount of time. It's like, nah, you're just going fast.
So fast.
Like, what's the average?
What comes to mind when I think of that? Let's see if I can find it.
So let's see. At a normal pace. So I would say before Kaido gets outside of I want to say render range for some reason. Before Kaido gets outside of communication range, you know, you'd probably be checking in every so often, maybe every couple of minutes or 5 minutes or whatever. And, you know, Kaito would be making way more headway than you expected. So you'd probably get the feeling that from where Kaido's leaving to where Kaido's going, at the pace they're going at and pushing it, there would probably be, let's see, 1, 10, 20. Sorry, I'm doing some math in my head. 10, 20. At that speed. Honestly, it'd probably maybe only take Kaido like 10 minutes. 10 to 15 minutes, including
Yeet.
obstacles.
Well, that would be so fast.
Because half the time with the crit, that'd be 30, but divided by 2, 10. So yeah, I guess with that information still poking around, you're just chilling here.
Well, we wouldn't necessarily know how quick that would be, but I guess we would probably still be inspecting the outside of the building in that time.
Okay, I guess the question is, would you have stayed in contact with Kaido for the duration? Was it just like, all right, Kaido, if anything goes wrong,
yeah,
let me know?
probably. No, it was, yeah, I mean, probably stay in contact as long as we could, yeah. And if they were like, oh my gosh, it's going to take me only a few minutes, then we would have waited for them.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm getting at. With the nat 20,
Yeah.
with the distance Kaido can travel per round, the Constitution check to be able to basically push through any exhaustion. I'd say, Kaido, this might be a new part of your morning routine. Like, normally,
Carry a moment across.
well, not even the mole man part. It's because you already do the like carrying the extra weight when you do your runs in the morning. An extra part could
And when
be
no one's looking, I drag the wagon.
dragging a wagon, but having obstacles in the way right? Like
Right.
to dodge around skeletons, to jump over like chasms, to like adding that extra layer of exertion, you know, not to say that you have to, but that would be a consideration because you did crit it and
Yeah, I did. I'd probably get back, but like not even really panting in the way of I'm out of breath from being exhausted, but like panting and like the kind of out of breath because I'm overexcited. I'm like,
Like
I need to do that every
exhilaration?
day. That was a good routine.
Like exhilaration?
That's it. Yes, maybe
Yeah.
that might be the word. That sounds right. Anyway,
you got the runner's high.
Yeah.
they're like, I need to do that every day. That was a really fun routine.
Well, you haven't really had a lot of chance to do your daily run either. Because we've been,
I did the
camping out
daily
at
run
the
the last time we've rested. It's just we've only had short rests since then, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a pretty speedy drop off.
Centaur goes zoom.
Ooh, it is muggy in my room.
All right. Well, shall we get to exploring this place? Vimac, you seem really drawn to what we have around
Mhm.
here, and why don't you start the search? Where should we go first?
Well, there's
Um,
left and there's right.
There's no door or anything.
Nope,
It's just a big wall.
Yeah, just a big wall looking thing.
Well, I think we go left.
Just
Who's he left?
left. I mean, left is always right. So yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, Price is always right.
So it's left.
3 lefts make a right.
Yep.
It's a lot of rights.
All right, left it is.
All left. Left it is. So going left, you see.
Can we get a quick bio break?
Oh yeah, sure.
Thank you. I'll be right back.
Because I also have been holding it in too. DMs don't get the P. That's not in our job description. Yeah, we'll take a little 5 bio. All right, be right back. Alrighty, I am back.
I'm here.
So I have discovered a new flavor of fizzy beverage.
Oh, yes?
It is called Liquid Death.
Oh, yeah. A bunch of people around here love that stuff. I haven't actually had it. Tell me about it.
It's basically, let me see here. I think it has agave. Pretty much I was looking for sugar beverages that's not bland as water, but has some flavor, but has like no sugar. Let's see here. No, it has some sugar.
But is the sugar purely from agave? Because it's not bad.
Let's see. Ingredients. There's water, agave nectar, citric acid, natural flavor, stevia leaf extract.
Okay.
Included added sugars 2 grams. As
So the
opposed to
added sugars the added sugars probably is the agave, which
yeah.
isn't so bad.
Well, the thing I like about this beverage is the other day I drank part of one and forgot about it and came back and it did not lose its carbonation.
That's wild.
And I was just like, oh, okay.
I find sometimes my Spindrift will do the same. But that's pretty great.
Fizzy beverage.
Yeah, I can't do the processed stevia. It still just tastes wrong, sweet in the wrong part of my mouth. I like fresh stevia. I actually really like it in smoothies. But yeah, processed stuff, nope. Just tastes just like all the other sugar-free stuff. Well, not all. It's not the worst sugar-free out there, but yeah, can't do it.
Why is that so weird?
I don't know why they can't just leave it alone. Like just do like agave instead of having to add some sugar-free something to everything, you know? It's like, goodness sakes. People love it. It's definitely not as bad. Like it's the processed stevia is not bad for you.
They
Definitely has healthier options.
agave have it.
Exactly.
All right, we all back.
I think Vimac just got back. Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't know about price.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, good.
All right. Look at that scooter. All right. And so you went left. So as you make your way to the left side of this building, you peer around the corner, take a peek-see, and you would see another building. However, this one appears to have, or it looks like 5 statues. They're medium size, but like
I'm
5
back. What I missed?
Nope. Oh, I thought you were back. We just started back up. So you peer around the corner and you see another building, and there are 5 statues, and they look to be, well, I guess for anybody else it might be a nature or history check, but for Vimac these are giants. They are statues of
Oh,
giants. There's 5 statues of giants, and then there's one larger one also of a giant, but just, more more decorated. And the type
Do I need to make
of
a check
giant-
to see if I can tell what type of giants they are?
Yes, you can.
I'm back.
Actually, what type are you? You are
Cloud.
Cloud. I would say a history with advantage.
History.
These are cloud giants, which is somewhat surprising considering why would there be cloud giant statues in,
Underground.
in the underground, which, you would think would be more hill giant or fire giant? Fire.
Hmm.
But yeah, these are statues of cloud giants.
So these appear to be of my cloud giant ancestry.
Really? That's the weird.
That's a
What-
weird coincidence.
But
Yeah,
yeah, like full
fascinating.
giant, where I'm just a Goliath, so but of the same ancestry. I
Did
will
this place fall from
go
somewhere?
inspect them some more, just like individually start looking at the statues. Just not necessarily to find anything, just more in curiosity.
All right. Oh. So you're trying to do like a history or
Necessarily, just kind of more admiring the statues, or
No chance there's a plaque anywhere, is there?
nope. Boy, you didn't think it'd be that easy, did you?
You never know.
That's fine. It's fine. That's fine. Okay. Those are good. Now move.
So, now what?
We keep looking, right?
Oh, we're in the totally nothing wrong scene. Something's about to happen.
I don't know why the lighting's so weird on this.
And it's dark.
Why is it messing up the lighting like that? I don't understand. Is there a wall block? Hold on. Oh. Can you guys see at least the wall? Or is it like
Just
a
the
half
tokens.
wall?
I mean,
Bottom left?
oh, yeah, kind of like I see a rectangle, or like part of a like 3 lines above us.
Okay, that's
Is
so
that what you're talking
weird.
about?
Yeah, it's like there's a solid wall there, but for whatever reason, it's like cutting it in half. Hold on. Doing it live. Yeah, I don't know why it's
I
cutting
put
that
in the
like
chat
that.
what I see. That helps you any.
That's what I see too.
All right, I'm gonna do a thing. Hold on. Oy vey. I was hoping it was just the NPC tokens that was bugging like that, but I guess it's everybody's.
He's
Sometimes you
doing a thing
gamble
that's
and
thingy.
lose. Gonna get rid of that. Walls. Get rid of that. That. All those. Just gonna have to redraw the space 1 sec. Five. Five, 10, 15, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. 5, 10, 20, 25, 30. 60. Oh, crap. 5, 10. 25, 30, 5, 40, 50, 55, 20, 25, 30, 40, 5, 60. And can you see that full square? Or is it doing like the half thing again?
It's
It looks the
same as
same.
before.
That is weird.
I'm gonna try
What the
logging
fuck?
out and logging back in.
If we're all seeing it, it's not a you thing.
Well, but I'm wondering if maybe a refresh of some sort might help. And
Alright, you'll be the guinea pig for
I
that.
heard it. Because it
And
should
there's no-
automatically refresh the cache when I sign back in.
There's no wall there. 1 sec. What if we did this? Hold on. Yeah, I don't know why
Yep,
it's
still just a half wall.
because that's me redrawing the space. But I don't see any walls that's blocking your ability to see that other half. So something weird's going on. So if I move this in another part, let's see. When you just want things to work right.
No such luck.
Select this. Gonna move it. Okay, so if I move it there, is it still like a weird half square?
Now it's a full square.
Okay, so that is strange. Now it's basically like Foundry thinks there's a border there. Okay, well, I'm just gonna scoot everything over because I don't know what's going on with this map. Like, I can move stuff there as if normal. The grid's obviously still there, but for whatever reason, anyway, hold on. All I'll do is move everything over. And then we'll take these. Take this. Move that. Select this. Well, for the sake of not taking too much time. Okay. That's where it is. Map be damned. Make do with what you got. Almost there. Okay. Clear that, because I got to move a bunch of stuff that I had in the background now. 2, 3, 4, 5. Edit this.
I do see the square now. That helps.
Yeah, it's just I got to move a lot of other assets around. Update. Okay. I mean, you guys are free to roleplay, as I have to go through and move a bunch of crap and line it up.
All right, well, Kaido will walk over to Vimac, who's studying these stats, and be like, so what's your hypothesis on why this is down here?
I haven't the faintest idea why. Unless, yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Do you think
'Cause
these are like worship type statues, or
well, that you would think that they would be up in the clouds.
I mean, if your
Like
people
this.
made them, yes. Do you think someone worshipped the what would you call it? Sky cloud
Huh.
giants?
That could be.
Because that would make sense why they're down here, possibly. Although this is an entire building down here. Who's to say this wasn't somewhere else and it's somehow here now?
Yeah, some realities can get folded, right? And manipulated, so that could be. I guess we'll have to look around to make sure there are no signs of that. Like if there are signs of this was clearly built and established in this area, then that wouldn't make sense. But if there are signs where like things don't line up right in where the building is sitting or things are
No,
fit
we
in,
definitely look around, see what we can find.
that would make more sense.
What are you hoping for? That it was actually built down here or just got
What?
down here somehow?
I don't have a preference. I'm just interested in what it is.
Alright, makes sense. At least they're giants and not centaurs. That'd even be weirder.
What about giant centaurs?
Oh, please don't. That'd be terrifying.
That'd be amazing.
What do you mean that'd be amazing?
That would be
Feet,
amazing,
lighting.
is what I
But
mean by that.
why? Like, why?
Why not?
I-
Why wouldn't that be amazing?
Horses are already pretty massive on their own. They don't need to be giant on top of it.
But that doesn't make them not amazing. That'd be pretty incredible.
The reverse centaur would probably be the most amazing thing. Human legs, horse head. That's it.
Wasn't that BoJack Horseman? Or no, just human legs, not even a human torso. Well, no, it'd be human legs and torso, wouldn't
No human torso.
it? Just
Kaito,
It would just be the
legs underneath
bottom
the
half.
horse head.
Bottom
That'd be
half
really
of the
awkward.
human
Rice.
and the neck and head of of a horse. That would be
Why
the
is their
inverse.
vision so screwed up?
That
Yeah,
would be
on my
incredible.
screen, everybody but me has disappeared.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Uh,
figure out
where'd
what's going
everybody
on with my
go?
map.
I can see gnomes and Price's
No.
names, but I don't see their images anymore.
Like I said, things broke.
Do we need to call it early so you can get it fixed? I know it's getting kind of late for you guys.
Oh no, not broke as in like unfixable. Just broke as in like I don't know why you guys can't. There's tokens on the board, but for whatever reason you guys aren't seeing them. What's happening in this campaign?
Oh, I think I see everybody again.
Essentially right now
I still only see 2 other people.
they are
I see Altani, although your name's not there. I
Let's
see
see.
Gnome,
Dark
Price,
Vision.
and I see Vimac, but his name is also missing.
See, I see. I don't
Um,
have a name. I see Gnome and his name. I see your token, but not your name. I see Price Gouge's name, but no
60.
token for he or Vimac. But if I roll over
60.
them, they highlight. So I can
Yes.
tell
I
you they
have
do
the
it.
tokens for everybody, but not all the names are there. It's just like
Yeah.
really wonka-lonkily.
Why is it vision range 10?
That's
What?
weird that it looks different for each of us.
Right.
Dark Vision.
Welcome to the wonk.
Right?
Basically
Only names on the
Hey.
2 gnomes.
they're tasked with
Now
investigating
that's what I'm
a
seeing.
situation with mole people village nearby, and they've come across some rather undead situations.
You got so used to us just using theater of the mind, and it's just like, I don't want to do this map. You're on your own. Can make me
Can
work?
you
I
see
don't
that?
think so.
Nope, you can't see that either. Let me try one more thing. This might work.
That's what they all say. Right before the world implodes.
They can't see. It's like nothing has vision range. Alright, we're just gonna do this. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Lighting. Let's do that.
What the?
But that worked. Because clearly you could see that. Oh, I'll probably see if I can. I don't know if it's a server update I need to do, but yeah. Y'all, basically those are the statues.
Is that a
That's a
Drider?
Drider. Yeah.
It's just using that image
Oh, okay.
because it's a statue. So imagine that, just imagine it without the spider legs.
Okay. But with the horns?
We could say, yeah, it's a cloud giant. So you can imagine that, in place of where the horns are on the token is like thunderbolts coming off of the head.
Cool. I like it.
Quite thunderous, if you ask me.
The default tokens are all borked. That's what's happening.
So are
Storm
all the
cloud.
statues supposed to be women, or is it just because they're just what you grabbed?
Storm
Just
giants
asking.
can be women too.
I'm not saying they can't be. I'm asking,
Mhm,
are
mhm.
all of them female? Like, are all the statues
Are
female?
the statues actually
Oh, the
represented?
statue's
Yeah.
female. Yeah, we'll
like,
go with
are all
that.
the statues actually supposed to be female? Okay.
Or they're male females. They're
Oh,
statues.
this was made by men.
I mean, or that's a matriarchal society and they're showing their strength first.
Maybe.
So you're up there looking at them.
Oh, Kaido walked up to him to talk to him, so I'll slap him up there too. Ding.
Dang. So yeah, there are these statues. The one in front seems a lot more decorated than the others. Like they look like to some degree, there's like some noble attire, but also noble in a militaristic fashion. So I guess regal would be form and function regality to their attire. And, like I said, there was 5 other statues behind it, just, standing in formation. And a building behind them.
Be right back.
Do they all look like they're unique, or are they like similar? Super similar.
They are similar. I mean, except for the big versus the small one, but
Yeah.
boop. And yeah.
Now what? Is there a way to tell if this stuff is here and was made here, or if it was dropped here from somewhere else?
Yeah, looking for signs around the outside to see like if it's clearly constructed here.
Investigation.
If I'm helping him, can he have advantage? Because we're kind of both looking around for the same thing anyway.
Yeah, we were discussing that a while ago.
Yeah.
So we would have been on the same thought process at least.
Yeah, I'll let you get advantage on your roll if he allows it. I'll assist you.
Yeah, you can. You can add
Alright.
another character even if they're not trained in a skill.
Oh, dice, why?
Because I'm not good at investigating things.
Well, neither am I. Just for curiosity's sake, I'm gonna roll it once. I just want to see what would have happened. It's a good thing you rolled it. Oh man. That's funny. I'm done laughing at myself now. You may continue. He rolled a 9 for his investigation.
I mean, all you're able to determine is basically you don't know.
Okay.
Unknown.
Huh.
Well, should we head
Does
toward the building?
the grid even look weird
Sure,
on
what's the worst that'll happen?
OBS?
I mean,
Let me look.
Don't
the
answer
grid's
that.
on
It wasn't
there.
actually a question.
oh,
Weird.
Kyle will be chuckling as he starts walking around to find hopefully what they think is a door. Do they see a door, or is it just like 4 walls?
Well, you can only really see one side. I had to.
Oh, okay.
So when I was setting this up, the other day, it was just like, well, maybe it's just a visual glitch on my end that, these tokens only see half the board. It's probably fine. And then it's like, oh,
Womp
you
womp.
guys actually can't see the other half of that, so that means there's something weird with the parameters, even though technically that's not the edge of the board. It's like kind of treating it as the edge of the board. It's weird. I don't know.
Would it have been just fixable to just increase the edge of your board? That have fixed it? Maybe? Did you try that? Is that a thing?
Well, I didn't think it was an edge of the board thing until today. I was just like, oh, maybe it's just a weird, because, Foundry's lighting is not always the best. So I was like, maybe it's just these tokens on my end that you guys can't see, and it's like when you showed me you also see the same thing. Like, oh,
Row. Yeah, I get you. Things happen.
which is
Well,
beautiful.
as we were approaching it between statues, do we see anything that looks like a door?
Also, I think it could just be that. Back to my point the other day. Boards too big equal glitches start happening. This is a like, I wanted to see if I could have a huge grid but with nothing on it, so it's not like bogging down systems, like having to render, like 300-400 feet worth of assets, a 300 by 400 feet grid worth of just crap that has to load on computers. So I was like, I'll try it with just a blank board so it doesn't put a huge load on anybody's systems. And then this happened, so clearly Foundry doesn't like large, or maybe it's just, I don't know. Anyway, tech stuff to worry about later. But it's all recorded at 4K. So with the 9, you're not able to determine anything. And a hypothetical 0, you're definitely not able to determine anything.
We don't
And
talk about that.
yeah, we
hypothetically.
moved up just to check the wall of the building. Do we have
Yeah,
to-
but I'm specifically looking for a door. I don't know what he's looking for.
So on this side of the wall, there is no door, but it is a wall with, I wouldn't say like carved in imagery in terms of like it being a mural or anything, but just the aesthetic is, it's like a wispy-esque aesthetic to it. Like there's lines that run almost like little like vapor lines that lead up the wall and around it. At the very top of it, you would see like just sort of, not necessarily a motif, but it kind of suggests as such. But like a little stormy clouds at the top, and then like the little wisps kind of go up to the stormy clouds. Just, design choices.
Okay, which side should we check?
Left is always right.
Okay.
And as you get close to the wall, I'll say when you're about here, and when you were like here-ish, you both can notice that it feels like it feels like there's a pull towards this wall.
Pull? Like, what do you mean
Pull.
by
You feel a tug towards the wall, like something's pulling you to it.
like a gravity type pull, or like almost feel like something
Gravity.
like grasp? Okay, well, that's interesting.
See if they have any loose items here.
Any ideas what this is about? Bye, Mac.
No. Nothing I can think of.
Huh. Can we move away from it, or are we like stuck here now?
Let's see.
I will reach out and touch the wall.
So it doesn't feel like your hand is being pulled. Yeah. So like when you reach out and touch the wall, nothing happens, but it doesn't, like your hand reaching out, like you don't feel like a gravitational pull from your hand to the wall. So you're able to, if you touch the wall and move your hand away, that it's as effortless as as normal.
I must say, this is definitely the first time a wall has seemed to want my body. Do we just keep going? Should we ignore it?
I don't think we should just ignore it, but
You mean,
we can.
you know what I mean?
No,
Like, ignore it to go around and see if there's anything else.
Yeah, could, and then while walking, keeping an eye out to see if the pull is still affecting as moving along the wall.
Kind of wants to find out if it gets stronger if we move away from him. So he's going to try taking a step back. Why am I not moving? Oh, there I go.
Oh, let me, the camera. There we go. So it's equal, like, so when you move away, the pull is reduced.
Interesting. Say anything?
There's a
I
door.
can just picture these two like Scooby-Dooing around the corner.
Yeah, what's
they like leaned.
what's Price and Altani doing this time? Because you guys, you were looking at statues, went up to the wall. Like there was a little bit of time that passed. So what were y'all two doing while they were doing that?
I think Price is just kind of looking at the statues. He's just kind of wandering a little bit, but he's noticing that Kaito and Vimac are maybe going around the corner, so he's probably gonna start following them.
And where you at on the board for that?
Well, I was just about to move as they were starting to move, so. But yeah, I'm over by the statues, and Price, I think, was just kind of like looking around.
And what's Altani doing?
Does Altani still have the voices in her head, or did they go away?
Oh no, they're still there.
Oh god, that's got to be a nightmare.
I think Altani stepped away. I think I heard. Maybe? You're still muted.
Yeah.
Alright, so where are y'all two going? Well, I guess technically three.
I mean,
I'm
if we
going
see
to
a
go
door.
towards the door,
Mm-hmm.
but also seeing if there's still a pull.
There is.
Approaching it. Okay. So it's a whole building. It appears to be.
Ow. Oh, pain. Cramp by the nose.
So does this look like a door, or does this kind of like door-esque? Like what are we looking at here?
It's a door.
It's like a huge door or normal sized door.
It is big enough for 5, 10, 15. Oh wait, hold on. That should be big. That should be 3 squares, not 2. I oopsied that
So we're
one.
looking at a giant-sized door, huh?
Yep, it's a giant door.
1,
2, 3. 1, 2. Oh god, this messes with my eyes. 3.
Kind of gonna look at my map. This is a big-ass door, even to my standards.
Yeah, so I'm almost thinking whoever created it was either big enough to use the door, or if it was in tribute.
They hope someone big enough would use it.
Yeah.
Do you want
So
me to just try opening it, or do you want to try opening it, or should we check it to tell you
I'll
how
try and
better?
open. I'll try and open it.
All right, I've got your back.
Do I see a door handle or anything?
No door handle,
Handles
just like before.
and nothing on the face of the door, just to.
I mean, other than like, storm cloud looking.
Okay, I'll put my hand on the door.
So you put your hand on the door. Nothing happens.
I push on the door.
Push on the door. Nothing happens. It doesn't open.
What do you think? The door doesn't. Pushing's not working. Do you
There's nothing to
think?
pull it with?
I don't see anything. What do you think about? What if it needs to lift?
Well, there's clouds on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are the odds if we just throw a cloud at it?
So when you push the door, I guess you can give me a perception check.
If I'm watching, can I give him advantage? I'm hoping.
Yeah, that's fine. You're aiding.
Roll it again. Roll higher. Oh my god! Bro! Okay. Solid 8.
Well, I don't have a like fog cloud spell or anything.
Don't look at me. The only thing I really have is hooves. And an axe, but I don't think you want me to use that.
Maybe the druid has fog cloud. I don't know.
You mean Price?
Yeah.
Don't call him
What
the
do you?
druid.
Why not? He is a druid.
He is a druid, but he's not the druid. He's our friend Price.
He is
So it's
the
a druid.
druid of the group.
Yeah.
There's no
But
other
he's
druid.
not
druid.
Price.
Don't worry, Kaito. It's not derogatory.
Would you rather me just call you what do you do again?
Well, I mean,
The-
technically, I'm a
the
rogue.
thief?
But
You
yeah,
said-
you can call me. Yeah,
So you'd be perfectly
I'm-
fine with someone referencing you as the rogue,
yeah, sure.
not by your name.
I mean, I am the rogue of the party, so wouldn't bother me. Now, if I had specifically asked them not to do that and to call me by my name, and they kept not calling me by my name, then I'd be offended. Hey, Bryce, are you okay if we call you the druid?
Sure.
See, there you go.
He did sound very sure with that sure.
I mean, it's not like he can't change his mind. It's an affectionate term, and I'm gonna like pat you on the shoulder.
I referred to him as the druid as in knowing he is a spellcaster.
Versus the rogue, who definitely
Versus
does
rogue
not
Well,
have
I
does
suggest
not.
not referring to me as the barbarian because that's not going to go well for you.
And see, but that's helpful. And we
Okay.
wouldn't call you that because you've let us know you don't like it.
I will call you Barbar Go Burr.
You can tell that Kaido really wants to take a swing right now, but he does refrain.
I'm at Kaito and be like, or we could just call you Kaito. It's a very respectable name. We should use it.
Kaido works.
Okay, Kaito.
At this rate, you're going to call me by my full name.
I doubt you have abilities to cast spells.
I, in fact, can cast spells, but nothing to do with clouds.
Let's see. I mean, I'll hold up my little mossy light and be like, I have a light. Does that help? It's kind of fluffy like a cloud.
No,
As I poke
light
the
comes
moss?
around clouds. They don't come from clouds.
No, I meant, but the moss is fluffy like a cloud. See? I'm gonna hold it out, and the moss is glowing.
Do you want to chuck it at the door and see what happens?
I mean, I could always cast it again, but I'll walk up to it and just place it against the door.
No, see, you were supposed to throw it. It'd been more entertaining that way.
Yeah, but I don't really want to destroy it if I don't have to.
Technicalities. Just moss, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's glowing moss. So I'll gently place it to the door and see if it makes a difference.
The difference that is made is not.
This is a very unique way of saying nothing happened.
I like it. It's very creative.
Right?
Like, well, I tried.
I can't think of anything else other than, like you said, maybe cloud spell. Other than pure brute force to try to
I
get through
mean-
the door.
I'm good for trying that too.
We could also keep checking for another door.
Well, and could it possibly be locked from the inside? Like if we got somebody up and over the wall, could they maybe open it from
Kind
the
of gonna
inside?
take a step back and look up for any windows.
Because this
I
is
don't know how far
like
back.
what, like
I don't know how tall it is, so hopefully that's far enough back.
is it, do I remember correctly that the wall is high enough up that it exits our dark vision range? So it just goes up into the darkness?
Yeah,
but that doesn't
basic.
mean we don't see any windows.
So basic dark vision, no. The only one who's been able to see that far has been Clem because it has 120.
So Clem
I
can
could try
see
to
the top
send
of the
Clem
wall?
up there.
I guess what
Oh.
I must have missed if you were able to see the top of the wall or if our dark vision ended before the wall did.
So, so this wall is 80 feet, just like the other
Okay.
building.
Okay. Perfect.
So
Yeah.
outside of
Clem
your
would see the top of
basic
it.
dark vision, but within
Perfect.
super dark vision range.
But within
Hello.
my range, can I see any windows in it?
There are no windows. It is a big stone wall with
Well, there goes
fancy
the idea of
lines and
sending a
clouds.
gnome through a window.
Well, yeah. I mean, Vimac, could Clem fly up and over and
Yeah,
see if there's
I
a
was
lever?
just gonna ask him, Clem, can you go check to see if you can see anything at the top of the wall, the building? And let him fly.
Or a lever? I'm gonna kind of call up. Be like, see if you see a lever to open the door too.
See, as a
I think Clem
kind
has the wrong name for pulling levers.
as a kind and generous DM, I won't make you roleplay Clem in voice. Clem just does what Clem do. Also, in part because
Although-
like I already have to voice like a million NPCs. So.
But also, Vimac, you do have the app for the voice changer.
It's
But
not-
But
Does
do
he
you
wanna
have a
do
good
it
Clem
every time?
voice?
The Clemening. So Clem flies up and over, and at that point, it's a very quick realization that there is just as you're getting to the top of it, you notice that there is no roof. Do you have Clem look over
yeah,
or fly over?
yeah. I'll have him peek over.
So this is something only Clem can see. And I guess technically Vimac is seeing through Clem.
I'm not because it's too high for me. It's 60 feet. So I'd have to break my connection, but I could still speak with them or commune
Okay.
telepathically.
Well, if only Clem can see it, it looks like some kind of a holding area or a pen. And inside is this huge, let's see, from a top-down perspective, looks like this huge, spiky creature. It doesn't, it looks like there's, like bits of flesh that have rotted off of it. And by bits, I mean a lot. Basically there's a lot of like rot. Let's see. It looks like there's like spikes that run down its spine. It doesn't seem like it's sleeping. It's definitely active, but it looks pretty decayed from a top-down perspective.
And he's relaying me what his description, right?
Yes.
So Clem just found a large creature in what appears to be a large cage or pen. And it is a decaying and not dead creature. Very large with spikes on its back and stuff. So
That's of other parts of the description. Quadruped?
Quadruped?
4 legs.
Quadruped.
Yes. And very, very, very sharp claws.
How big in reference to the size of the building?
It's a huge creature. So
Okay, huge.
15 by 15.
Oh, wow.
So very large creature. I'll tell him good work and you should come back. So I don't know if we want to open this door.
Wait, now we don't want to open the door?
Especially since
Did
there's
you
also still that
hear?
magnetism. That like
There's
draw
a
when
very
you're next to it.
large decaying looking creature in there.
Decaying usually means they're dead.
Well, like
Like undead?
maybe an undead.
What would
Well-
that have to do with cloud giants?
They
That's a
could
good
have
point.
been here imprisoning it.
Hmm.
Or it could be protecting something that they don't want us to get to.
Is there a chance that those aren't just statues?
I mean, as in they got petrified?
Maybe. Are they in do they look like they're in weird positions to you at all? I don't know.
I mean, they appeared to all have very, very, very similar look. Or they look to be evenly spaced out. I can't recall if I saw the
No, they were just standing at attention. In like a formation. No scenes of horror.
So yeah, I don't know. My gut's telling me we probably shouldn't get in there.
Well, being that your ancestors were the ones that kind of finished this off, maybe I would be likely to trust your intuition. So then what do we want to do from here?
But my question is, why is this here?
I think we should at least indicate this and maybe
And if it's decaying, do you think this had
Map
anything to
it.
do with the skeleton things?
it could. But do we really want to deal with the large decaying
Well, we can't really
undead
leave it
creature?
here near Del Roof.
but we might need a bigger force.
Figure what?
It sounds like we might need to travel back to town and catch Luana up, maybe bring Lionel and some others back with us to approach this. Maybe Luana has some information on it.
How good is Clem at sketching? Bye, Mac.
What was that?
How good do you say Clem might be at sketching something they see?
I don't think he'd be that good, but you can let him try.
Well, it wouldn't hurt to have an idea of what this thing actually fully looks like to give Luana if that's the thing, what we're doing.
I mean, if you really want to know what it looks like, you could just open the door somehow.
I was told not to open the door. I want to know.
So much detail could be acquired through opening a
Just
door.
telling Luana there's a decaying thing inside a walled off area behind some cloud giant statues. I don't know if Luana would be able to know what it is from just that little bit of information.
Well, it sounds
Maybe
like
they will. I don't know.
so Vimac, I assume that you tell us like everything that that you would have been like basically how
Yeah.
Cube described it to us. So I
I
mean
would
the fact
also
that
be
it-
having Clem further explain because he saw it. He can oh yeah, he speaks common, so he could tell everybody.
So the invisible thing that Vimac keeps talking about, another voice that that Altani gets to hear, another invisible disembodied voice.
hey, as long as he's not yelling at me, I don't mind.
All right. So, like I said, you're standing in front of this door. You still feel the tug towards the like structure. And Kaido, from where you are, you don't feel any tug at all.
So you're saying this thing is bad, right?
I was saying that it was
Why is the wall
probably something we
pulling us
might
closer
not be
to it?
able to handle.
Fair, but the walls
we
around
can-
this thing is pulling us towards it. What the heck does that mean? If it's something bad, you'd think it would be repelling people, not pulling them in.
Well, if
Right.
it's trying to pull you to the wall, it might keep you from being able to pass through as well.
Well, if it's pulling you on this side, it might be repelling on the other.
Yeah. I'm gonna nod sagely as if I know anything about magic.
Hmm. Man, I really just don't open the door. Well, if we're not doing anything, we're just wasting time. Why don't we head back?
And that's what I was saying. We should probably indicate the location and then try to map it so that we can have people avoid it and then come back when we're ready.
That sounds like a good plan.
Sound good to you, Price? Price?
Uh, so we're gonna just go back now.
That's what they want to do. I want to open the door, but they keep telling me that's a bad idea.
So we got to the mole people and hopefully got them to the surface, but we didn't really. We killed some things. We also let some things go.
Let a thing go.
Well, if we leave this, it would be still be remaining here.
Yep. And still an issue for Delruth.
I'm assuming too, if we go tell Luana, us being the folks that she sent in the first place, it'll probably just be her
Resent.
saying, "Hey, go back and do something about it."
Yeah. But we might also be able to get some reinforcements.
Who's the reinforcements? There's us.
Well, didn't I
are
see a
those
meet a Minotaur there?
reinforcements, I'm pretty sure.
He's guarding the town.
Either way, it might be good just to check in. We also do need to take a rest, and do we really feel safe enough doing that here?
No.
So there you go.
Well, you don't feel
mean, it's not
safe
like-
in an area where there's cloud giant statues and a wall that makes you, tugs you towards it. In an area where there's a skeleton that jump scares you when you come out of a hole behind a door that is behind a cave-in with a bunch of skeletons laying around that just stare at you when you walk through. You don't feel safe here?
Right?
Well, now that you put
who'd
it
have thought?
that way, we should just set up shop here.
I'm down.
Ah, yes, our new base of operations. Scary Zone. Kind of look at Price. You good for going back, or what do you think we should do?
Yeah. I mean, Ken, I kind of to your point. I don't really know what information we have. We don't know what any of this is or why it's here. And Luana sent us here to figure out what was going on, so I'm pretty sure
Well,
she
we were
doesn't
sent to
know.
help the mole people.
Right.
Yeah.
This just seems like something extra.
I feel like if she would have known that this was potentially afflicting the mole people and she knew about it, that she would have mentioned it.
Oh, definitely. Right. So, backtrack?
I think so.
Do you want to lift, Price?
Sure.
All right, Price gets the lift.
So, how far back are you going? You just going back to Mole People Village? Are you heading surface?
We have to go back to Del Ruth to update Luana and report everything. I think that's what we're going to do.
I was thinking we would go check back on the mole people, let them know to probably stay away from this area.
Well, all but Franklin was told to go to Del Ruth that we knew of.
Oh yeah.
I think Franklin was also told to go to Del Ruth.
He
So
was.
it'd probably be we'd probably swing through there to make sure they all actually went.
Yep.
And then continue on to Del Ruth to catch up with them too. Right?
That
Yeah.
sounds like a
Logical.
good idea.
We'll get to that
Alright.
monastery some year.
So TLDR heading back to Delruth.
Yes. Well, we're going to make our way through the Mole Person City to make sure that everybody made it out, and then make our way back to Del Ruth.
Yes.
All right. So you start heading back, and once you get at this point, being aware of it, once you're about 15 feet away, you don't feel any magnetism towards the building. You make your way back through the hole, well, the door, because you open the doors. Back through the hole where the skeletons just look at you as you walk through, as they did before.
Okay.
You head back through the tunnels. Nothing really. You avoid the hole in the ceiling as per Price's but the little markers. And you make your way to the Mole People City, well, village. And you said you want to do something there.
We wanted to make sure that the mole people actually left and no one's left behind.
Perceptions.
Okay. I'm so good at those.
I believe in you, but
I do
apparently
not
not
believe in
enough.
I think everybody's doing it.
Yeah, everybody can because you're all collectively.
Perceiving.
Price
Yep.
is paying more attention than Kaido because Price isn't the one walking.
I'm perceiving the heck out of this area.
Yeah, you're
That's okay.
in the area that you search and go through on your way out. You don't see any extra mole people here. Not that you search the entire city, or the entire village, but at least on your way out, you don't hear or see any mole people.
Okay. Well, it's probably the best we can hope for.
And you make your way back through the holes, back up on the way out, and pretty much once you get to somewhat close to the surface, you would hear a lot of talking and clamoring in languages that only Price knows. And you come up to it looks like the mole people have dug out another little hovel that they're just sort of like a the equivalent of like a gathering area, like people getting their things together of what they have, people collecting things and setting up, because you guys have only took a short rest, so there's still it's trying to get a bunch of people to go in a direction, but they're kind of fleeing from a situation, so just seems to be like the little staging area just below the surface, because mole people and sunlight typically don't go too well. So it just seems like they've made a little area where they're packing up the caravan wagons, in a sense, I guess, to prepare for a trip that's a day's worth.
Yeah. They're getting their supplies together.
Well, should we see if we can help them?
Yeah, should we wait it out and escort them back?
Yeah, I'm okay with traveling back with them if we feel like
Yeah.
it's better. We
Probably
gotta
have
make
to
sure they
travel
get
at
there.
night, right?
I mean, we can sleep until then.
Right?
Well, you haven't
How
quite
long
made it to the
do we
surface
have
yet.
until night?
You are unsure until you get close to the surface.
Well, can we ask one of them? Do they know how long until night? Like, do they have internal clocks for knowing when the sun's down?
Nope, because what's
Yeah.
the term? Not diurnal creatures.
Diurnal?
Wouldn't-
Well, diurnal means daytime, so nocturnal would be nighttime.
Let me think.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I got mixed up.
How do we get to
Wait,
the
no.
surface to check how much time we have until they're ready to go?
Yeah, because we can camp out on the surface.
Do we see Franklin here?
Are indeed nocturnal and maybe most active at night. Yeah, you'd see him around. Yeah, it is
Price knows
nocturnal.
he speaks common, right? He's the one who does. Correct? Am I remembering right?
Yep.
Hey, Franklin.
Yes, yes. Hi. Oh, hello.
Hey, do you know how long until you guys are gonna be heading out?
Hopefully sooner than later, because we got to get everybody out of here, and everything's crazy. Everything it all just happened so quickly. First it started out,
And he just starts getting frantic again.
Hey, breathe. It's all right. We're on your side, remember?
And in the midst of, his frantic rantings, people still gathering stuff. And it's also like, people are, other mole people are coming up to him saying something, and he, points them in a direction, like points at some crates, like he's interacting with you, but also,
Trying to keep everybody else moving. Yeah, I get it.
and also trying to deal with the trauma of what just happened.
Well, Franklin, we're prepared to escort you guys to Del Ruth, but we just needed to know how long until you're ready to go.
and probably a couple more hours just to get everything and everybody and head counts and
All right. He'll look at the others like, hey, a couple hours. What do we want to do for just a couple hours? Is there anything we can do to help you guys prepare?
and yes.
He's like he doesn't want to say no, but he's not sure how, like what you can really help with. But he just points to different people, and yeah,
Why is he pointing at different people?
and you'd see like somebody like struggling to like lift a crate, or
Oh,
sharing rations, like that, just basically packing up the
Kaido will definitely go help with the crate person.
the crate person.
I'm sure I can move that crate, just no problem. It's fine. I just need to know where it goes.
So basically, it just sounds like you guys are gonna be helping mole people pack up so they can.
Yeah, a couple
You know.
hours isn't long enough to start resting, and we don't want to make these guys wait here longer than they need to. They already don't want to be here. So we'll rest when we get to wherever the hell we're going. Del Ruth. I almost forgot the town's name for a second. At least I can remember Franklin
You're
now.
probably gonna call it Steve.
Oh my god.
We're heading back to
Steve
Steve,
Ruth.
right?
No, we're going to Steve Ruth. That's not it. Are you sure? At least I remember Franklin now. Okay, I gotta take my battles and my wins where I can.
Mm-hmm. So I think that's a pretty safe stopping point. All things considered, what time it is, and a little bit of a late start.
Yeah,
So-
we'll get them all situated to where they're ready to go, hopefully quicker, and we'll get the Del Roof.
Yeah.
Yep. You guys found the jump scare in D&D.
Price found the jump scare in D&D.
which is funny that Price did it a second time. It's like, ah, Okay. Ooh. Okay.
Like,
That
like
should
is
be
that really what I
ah!
saw? Yeah, that was great.
It just makes me think of like in like a comedy horror movie, like a one of the characters getting chased, like they step on a rake and it hits them in the face, and then they turn around and step on another rake while the killer's just like
Or a shovel.
yeah, like slowly walking towards them with a chainsaw rev, just like
It was a
Alright.
fun session.
Hmm.
I zoned out at some point, but that's because I had sugar issues. That's why brain was bugging me. I went and got food. I got better.
Food always helps.
Yeah, especially when you're diabetic. Fun, let me tell you.
Well, I have a lot of blood sugar sensitivity too. Not to the same degree, but I totally empathize.
It's usually when she bugs me. It's just all the time. Not all the time. I realize that's why, even though I should by now, because that's her job to bug me when I'm having sugar issues. One of these days, I won't argue with her, and I'll just accept what she's telling me.
I mean, she has one job, and that is to look out for you. You should let her do her job.
I know, right? It's like after I went and ate, she hasn't bugged me since because that was what she was bugging me for. And
Like,
it's just,
finally
I'm dumb.
human.
She's smarter than me.
OBS, where are you?
And it didn't dawn on me. I mean, she always bugs me on my right.
Alright. So with that being said, I'm gonna wrap up D&D there. There we go. So, thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for hanging out. I appreciate all your faces. Let's see. As far as announcement things, we do this every Wednesday at 5:30. We started a little late today, but it do be like that. Let's see. I usually put the VODs up on YouTube by Mondays. So Monday at the latest. Sometimes I'll get it done sooner, but expect, VODs up on Monday. Let's see. Just because the VOD duration is so short for me on Twitch, it's like a week and a half, so. And archiving. I get to learn from my own evolution. So let's see what else. Yeah, so tomorrow we'll be back at it the usual time. 6 o'clock Pacific for variety streams. And there's an announcement that I'm forgetting. I can't believe I still haven't committed all the announcements to memory right now. What is it? Oh, yes. So we pretty much do this, like I said, over on Twitch, Twitch TV/Q222. For those of you who are watching on the old Yubles Toobles. And yeah, that's the gist of it. So to that point, like I said, thanks for being here and thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. And I am gonna send y'all somewhere. Locked in, done. Boop. Perfect. Good friend of the channel. We'll send you on over to Spicy. So I hope you have a wonderful morning, evening, or whatever it is in between for you. And hopefully we catch you again soon. And if you are inquiring as to when I go live over here on Twitch, feel free to, I guess, throw a follow. And if you're just here for the VODs, then, I don't know, subscribe on the Yubles Tools. If you want, you don't have to. Anyway, with that, have a lovely evening. I will catch you next time. Try not to get eaten by Skellymanses before then. Alright? Binky guns. Alright. Bye.